Welcome to your career as a Firestop containment worker. Construction workers, Firestop containment workers included, all need to be attired properly with the right dress, the right clothing, the right personal protective equipment, whether it's glasses, hard hats, gloves, steel-toed shoes. In some cases, dress might mean appropriate long-sleeve shirts, appropriate respiratory equipment, so that they can go home safely to their families at night. As a Firestop containment worker, there are a lot of things to remember when working in new construction as well as existing buildings. Maintaining egress, placing your carts, ladders, and other equipment in hallways restricts the amount of people that can move through that hallway safely if they need to in an emergency situation. Then, making sure that your ladders are in the appropriate place is very, very important. In this case, the ladder is placed right in front of a fire resistance rated door that has an automatic switch that would allow the door to close if the fire alarm goes off. If you're stuck above the ceiling tile and that fire alarm goes off, the door then releases and moves the ladder away from your access. Firestop containment workers have to deal with important issues like infection control in buildings. Regardless of occupancy, hospital, office building, medical office building, industrial application, each occupancy will have separate issues with the spread of dust, debris, fibers, and even germs. You may not be able to remove any more than one ceiling tile in a specific area without having to bring in a containment unit or build containment around the area before you can work above the ceiling. Reading architectural plans and knowing where fire resistance rated assemblies occur is very important for the Firestop containment worker to understand, and to understand where their Firestop systems are going to be installed. Fire resistance rated corridors, fire resistance rated compartments are all formed with fire resistance rated or smoke resistant walls and floors. On this particular set of plans, the legend shows almost 20 different fire resistance rated assemblies or smoke resistant assemblies as well. There are two parts to making sure that the Firestop system is installed appropriately. The first one is identification of the assembly. The second piece is the actual physical installation of the products. As far as the identification of the assembly, that feeds off of the system selection process. Before installing any Firestop system, the Firestop containment worker has to identify what type of assembly they're installing Firestopping into. Is it a gypsum assembly, 1 or 2 hour fire resistance rating, maybe 4 hour fire resistance, maybe 3 hour fire resistance? What is the fire resistance required for that assembly? Secondly, is that assembly a smoke barrier or smoke resistant rated assembly? Does it require a Firestop system that has an L rating with it? Then, all the manufacturers of Firestop systems products have cleaning as part of the preparation for installing Firestop systems. So as part of the Firestop system installation, cleaning the penetrating item or cleaning the fire resistance rated assembly is important to getting Firestop systems installed properly. Proper preparation is critical to the Firestop containment worker's daily job. Knowing what kind of solvents or non-solvent materials to clean penetrating items with, and what was tested by the manufacturer, what's recommended by the manufacturer, as well as your management supervision. Then comes the physical work. Installation of Firestop systems is critical to zero tolerance systems that are selected from the directories. Mineral wool is compressed, then installed into the annular space, leaving a space above the mineral wool thick enough to take the Firestop sealant. After the mineral wool is installed, cleaning takes place again to remove the loose fibers from the mineral wool from the penetrating item as well as from the fire resistance rated floor assembly. A Firestop sealant is then applied appropriately around the penetrating item in the annular space. Tooling of Firestop sealants is required by all the manufacturers, not just to give a professional look to the Firestop systems installation and the sealant installation, but also to make sure that the Firestop sealant is totally adhered to the penetrating items. The final installation step of Firestop systems is the labeling of the penetrating item or the joint or gap. Specifications may call for installing labels. Labels are made of all kinds of different types. These labels will have varying amounts of information required for you to communicate to people in the future what Firestop system was used in that application so that they can maintain and manage the Firestop system's installation and protect people and buildings in the future. Identifying improper installations in both new construction and renovation is part of the Firestop containment worker's job. Understanding the intricacies and detail that's needed to get Firestopping installed to the system correctly, without that knowledge, a Firestop containment worker isn't any value. The value comes with understanding the systems, understanding the limitations of annular space, understanding possibly which direction that the bags are installed in a pillow type application, understanding how thick the Firestop sealant needs to be before it becomes part of the Firestop system. As a Firestop containment worker, demolition of incorrect installations is part of your work in new construction as well as in existing buildings. In this particular opening, the Firestop containment worker is removing some red Firestop sealant that has been mixed with drywall and has backing that's unidentifiable. Clearly, this is not a Firestop system. Secondly, this system is very unique in that the removal of the Firestop product destroyed some of the gypsum wallboard and provided a surface that was not acceptable for a Firestop system. Therefore, the worker had to cut out a larger opening than existed previously. When a Firestop system cannot be found in a published directory, an engineering judgment request may be made of the Firestop system's manufacturer's technical personnel. Engineering judgment requests happen frequently in renovation projects, less frequently in new construction. Regardless, as a Firestop containment worker, you may identify a variance to a system limitation that is published in the UL directory or other directories. Then, your company that you work for will have a procedure for making engineering judgment requests. Additionally, regardless of the occupancy type, a clean workplace is very, very important. When filling plastic bags with mineral wool or other fibrous type materials, it's very important to make sure that the dust and fibers don't become airborne when packaging the trash into these bags. Cleaning up during construction as well as after the day is complete, so that professional Firestop containment workers keep their reputation as the best in the field.